So it's a Sunday. It's a Sunday. And I just came in from church now. That's why I have this on my head. Actually, it's my scarf with my dress together. How is your Sunday going? I hope your Sunday is going very well. Welcome back to the channel. So a quick one. No, is it a quick one? Anyway, something to talk about today. And what is that? I want to ask a question. Do you speak your dialect to your children? Do you speak your dialect to your children? How often do you speak your dialect to your children? It's a question because in the church, for instance, now, this is Nigeria, and we have a lot of, languages here combined together in Nigeria. It's not only one language, but the major three languages are Hausa, Igbo, and Yoruba. But there are still other languages that we speak here, ethnic languages that we speak here, and it's amounting to 200 and something is much. So it's not about only Yoruba, Hausa, and Igbo. So it depends on where you are from in Nigeria and what you speak, your language. Now, for me now, I'm from Edo State, and partly from Edo State and partly from Delta State. So I, when I was growing up, I'm talking about my growing up. When I was growing up, my dad is from Edo State actually, and my mom is from Delta State. She's from Delta State in. They speak Igbo in Delta State. That is Asaba. That's where she's from. So my dad was a military man growing up, and thank you for joining in. My dad was a military man growing up, and it happened that he didn't have the time for us to talk much. He was always very busy at work. He was an efforts man. He was very busy at work, and we are always with our mom at home. So my mom used that opportunity to speak Igbo to us. So I understand Igbo very well. I mean Delta Igbo, I understand. There's another parts of Igbo dialect. I understand some of them very well. So I was able to learn from her, and we actually, her children, were able to learn from her because she always communicated. Most of the things she said was in Igbo language. So it gave me an advantage to be able to understand Igbo language to an extent, to a large extent, and also my siblings. But for my dad, he was not always around, so we didn't have the opportunity to really discuss in Edo language. In Edo, I don't really understand Edo so well, but he made sure that we're able to at least greet him when it comes in, like "Welcome, sir." We don't say it in English language. We just say "Obokia," like when you finish eating, we say Ariane and all those stuffs like that. Or when in the morning, you just tell him Latosa, all those stuffs like that. He taught us all those greetings. But coming to discussing, talking, and being able to speak the language for a longer period of time, we can't do it. I can't do it. But if you are from my place, if you're from Edo State, I'll be able to, at least I can relate, I can sense that, okay, you're talking to me and everything. But coming to speaking the language, I can't speak the language, and it really affected me because when we went to the village for his burial, they were communicating with us in Edo language, and we couldn't speak it. We couldn't speak it, we were just looking at them, but we knew that they were talking to us, so we just replied them in English language. That's what we did because that was what he communicated with us when he was alive and when we were growing up. He used English language to communicate with us and not his dialect, which is Edo dialect. He didn't communicate with us with that. So that is why today now I want to ask that how often do you communicate with your children? With your dialect, do you use your dialect to talk to them, or if you want to talk to them, if you want to send them on errand, or you just speak English all through? Though in Nigeria here, our official language is English language, but we have a dialect. We are from somewhere. Your origin, it's very important for you to speak your language to your children so that they will understand and it will help them. Because I understand Igbo language, most times when I go to the market or I want to buy some things, I'm able to communicate with people that are from Igbos with that language because I can understand the language. And I noticed that in church, most of the time you hear parents say, "Hey, live there." Everybody wants to speak English to their kids, but we do not know that this thing has advantages and disadvantages. When your child does not understand your dialect, it's going to affect that child in a way. So today I want to share some tips on how we can also speak our dialect to our kids, so it will help them in future. It will help them in future. When they go to when we must have passed, we are old and we've passed on, they'll be able to speak their language very well and go to the village even without any supervision. Because when they turn adults now and they're in the village, when we went to the village, we are all adults and we were just looking at them because we could not speak our dialect from my father's side. which was not supposed to be. So we're supposed to be able to communicate. But if my mother's side, I can speak it very well. Anything is the same, you tell me in Igbo language, I can say it. I even have an Igbo name because my mom gave me that. So it's a very big, important issue to always try to iron out when you are with your kids. Try to speak with them your dialect. So number one, I penned down some things today. I've been wanting to do this live. Thank you all for joining in. I can see people have joined in. I've been wanting to do this live video for a while, but I've been a bit busy and under the weather also. So I'm just getting better, just as you're saying me now. And I give God all the glory for that. So number one I penned down is that it's important to teach your kids how to speak your dialect, your native language. Which I just said is that it's very important to teach your kids how to speak it. And number two is that let them know where they are from, because it's very important. When you speak your dialect with them, they will understand that they're from a particular place. Tell them their origin. Tell them where they are from. If you're married to a wife that is not from your place, it is better for both of you to come together and agree on how to speak both of your languages to your kids, because anyone can favor them. So it's not going to be only your language as a man or only her language as a woman. They are supposed to be able to understand their mother's language, dialect, and their father's dialect. Thanks for joining in. And the third one is that start teaching them difference, from different little things like come, go, good morning. You say it in your dialect, like I want to eat, come and sweep, all these things like that. That's where you start from. You start saying little words, little things that they will understand. Not that you just start making sentences. You start from, like, when you want to teach a child sight words, like 2-letter words, 3-letter words. You start from 2-letter words before you move to 3-letter. That's how it is when you want to you teach your kids. If they're still little, their dialect, you start from, come, how to say come in your dialect, how to say go, how to say welcome, how to say good night, how to say good morning. Little words like that. It helps them to master, the dialects little by little. So that's number 4. And number 5 is that, when they speak it, you have to speak it back to them. Wait for them, because at times you can teach them and they do not know how to pronounce it. They have to get accustomed to how to pronounce your dialect. Like, for me, when my dad wanted to tell us how to say good morning, it was even when I was an adult. That's when my dad started teaching also. Because when we were growing up, he didn't have the time to teach us our dialect. So it was when we were already grown, we had to just tell him, Dad, we don't understand our dialect. From your own part, my mom can, we can relate well with my mom. Anything she says, we understand. But from your own side, we do not understand. I said, okay, it's his fault that he's going to teach us. We're already teenagers. And he started teaching us. And he started teaching us from how to say good morning, which is Latose, how to say welcome or Bokia and the rest like that. So over time, we're able to understand and to learn the dialect. So, and it's also helped us in, most times, if our uncles from our father's side comes around for visitation, we just look at them like this and we don't even know, they will be telling us Bodiaye, and I don't even know what Bodiaye is. So over time, I got to know that, okay, this is what it means. And when we even went to the village, we were really, 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 really embarrassed because we did not understand. Sorry, I had to open this. But we did not understand that it was that important, and they were really disappointed, a little bit angry also. So it's very important to always, there's a root you come from. You're from a particular place. Teach your children your dialect and let them speak it back to you and perfect it. Not that they'll be pronouncing it, in a way that you will not even, if you're from that place and you understand your dialect, you'll not be able to know that that is what they said. So as you speak to them, allow them to speak back to you. And as they speak back to you, allow them to continue speaking that way to you. Correct them anytime they tell you, maybe you want to tell them welcome and they use English to you, to speak for you, or to speak to you. Make sure you speak back your dialect to them and let them understand. Thank you so much for joining in. I want to appreciate all my subscribers. I can see people have joined in. My subscribers, my returning subscribers, and those that have been watching my videos and my live streams. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Without you, I can't be here. Thank God. It's God first, and without you, I can't be here. I have to speak with people, and I need people to listen to my video and to hear what I have to say. So that's another important what's it called? Another important point that you have to do with your kids. So in a situation whereby they are older, what do you do also? The same thing you do. The same thing you do. I've seen a lot of people in my environment, they don't even know how to say anything in their language. in their native language, their native tongue. They don't know how to say anything. All they do is to speak English, speak English. And I've seen people abroad, I've watched videos, people that are in the US, and their kids come back to Nigeria and they can speak their dialect. And they were not born here in Nigeria. They were born outside Nigeria. They can speak their dialect. That's a kind of shame too. We parents that are here in Nigeria and we cannot teach our kids how to speak our dialect, how to speak our language, our native language, and we allow people abroad that are based there, they can speak more than our kids here. No, it's a kind of a shame to us. So we should try as much as possible to speak our language. I'm not saying English is bad. English is very important, quite all right, because we communicate with English in Nigeria here and other places, and when you travel where they speak English, they also communicate with English. But your native language is very important. As parents, that's one of our duties that we should do. Because when I go to the church, I see parents, they'll just sit down and say, come here. They start speaking English to their kids. I'm not saying it's wrong, but it's also good to speak your native language to your kids. Try as much as possible, even when you don't have time, try to create time to speak your language to them. And if your wife and you, if you're married and you're both, I mean, of course, you'll be married before you have kids. So if you're a single mom or a single dad, also try and do that so that they can learn as they grow. And if they're adults, you can still come, once in a while, speak to them. And if they're like amazed, because when my dad started speaking his language, our language to us, we were like, this one, how do we learn this one? Now we're already, teenagers, but we're and one or two things from there. It really helped us, at least to an extent. So I want to thank you so much, so much for joining in. Everyone that has joined into this live stream, thank you so much. If you have not clicked or if you have not subscribed to this station, or rather this channel, please subscribe by clicking the subscribe button and also click the notification button in order for you to get notified. Thank you so much. And one more thing, I don't usually do this in my videos, but I just want to do this now. Well, if you're a very good subscriber of mine, if you love me so much, I do not I do not mind if you can support me. I'll drop my account number. If you can support me, I'll be very grateful because I have a lot of things to buy, gadgets and everything, and things are very interesting in Nigeria now. Thank you so much for joining in and have a pleasant Sunday. Bye.